There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Welcome to The Pilot, or A Flight into Fantasy, by the adventure game jockey, and that's all we're getting apparently. What a thoughtfully delightful day. Your head is tilted back and you're marvelling at the gorgeous billowing white clouds that are arrayed against a panorama of the most beautiful blue sky you've ever seen. Oh, that's delightful. The clouds are so fantastically formed that you lapse into your old childhood game of imagining shapes and faces on their surfaces. Look, there's a piggy, and there's a ducky, and there's Uncle Fred, and there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex locked in mortal combat with Godzilla. No geese, though, unfortunately. At complete peace with yourself and the universe, you gently lower your head to gaze off at the horizon, and discover that it's not where you expected it to be. In fact, to your utter astonishment, you notice that the ground is in a rather unusual place. Straight ahead. How bloody inconvenient. Suddenly, reality, that fundamentally bothersome quality which conveys truth, asserts its ugly head, and you remember that you are in the pilot seat of an F-16 on your very first solo flight. Probably not a good time for daydreaming, guy. At the moment, the plane in an attitude? Oh, right. The plane in an attitude quite exactly perpendicular to the surface of the Earth, diving right at good old Terra, which if you don't do something will soon demonstrate that it is quite firma. Haha, terra firma. I like that. In point of fact, the airspeed indicator shows that said surface is rushing up to you at an alarming rate of 1,947 miles per hour. You instinctively reach out to pull back on the thingamajig that causes this metal beast to change direction. But remember that you threw it overboard a couple of hours ago in order to make room for your box lunch. Ah, that may have been a mistake. Your next reaction is to throw the covers up over your head, reasoning perhaps that what you can't see can't hurt you. Too bad you're not in bed. This might have worked. You begin to do a lot of what's all thising, but quickly resign yourself to the fact that stupid questions usually produce stupid answers. The cockpit is heating up, and you're beginning to feel uncomfortable in your flight suit. Or is it just sheer panic that is causing you to sweat? Finally, as a last resort, you frantically begin to study the instrument console before you, the one just slightly below your unobstructed view of the rapidly approaching ground. Would you like to read the instructions? Yes. As you have no doubt deduced from the introduction, you are an extremely self-confident, though somewhat foolish, jet jockey, who, through some fault of your own, has been plunged, as Mr. Hardy would have so aptly put it to Mr. Stan Laurel, into another fine mess. Yes, Laurel and Hardy reference. Good stuff. Your objective, therefore, is to extricate yourself from your current, uncomfortable situation, i.e. diving straight at the ground at something approximating Mach 2, and having successfully done so, which we have every confidence that you will, negotiate the obstacles and solve the problems you will encounter in your aggressive, never-say-die attempt to find your way back to the wonderful world you once knew and loved. We have endeavoured to provide adequate hints in the game, subject, of course, to your enlightened interpretation. Oh no. So that you, the player, won't get completely muddled down and commence to banging on the keyboard with a baseball bat. Which, to be fair, if I was American and owned a baseball bat, I would want to do with a lot of text parsers. This version of The Pilot will end prematurely, far from its ultimate rewarding and startling conclusion, and is intended to provide you with such enormous pleasure and downright old-fashioned enjoyment that you will rush to your mailbox and order the complete game disc from the author. At least that's the plan. If, therefore, your curiosity is cajoled by what follows and you wish to delve further into the continued complexities of this affable adventure, send $10 in US currency. Check or money order, we're honest but don't send cash, to the Adventure Game Jockey, 9620 Wildwood Drive, River Ridge, LA, 70123. And your complete game disc will be mailed to you first class 14 days after receipt of check, or immediately upon receipt of money order. Registered owners can write for free hints, if it gets down to that. Now press the return key, venture on, and have fun. You know what? In terms of shareware nagging, that's probably the most eloquent and entertaining shareware nag I have ever seen. Well done, game. Well done. You're sitting in the cockpit of an F-16. The ground is falling up at a staggering rate. There is an instrument console here. There is an outlet on the console. We're going to die. Look at console. The instrument console consists mostly of dials, gauges, digital readouts, radar visualizations, and other assorted paraphernalia that you long ago decided were much too complicated to be bothered with. A metal cover conceals a recess in the console. Open cover quickly. Look in recess. Hey, we found stuff. A recess is behind a hinged metal cover. There is a toggle switch here in the recess. There is a round dial here in the recess. There is a red button here in the recess. Well, we know what to do, don't we? Push red button. You push the red button and a previously unseen door in the instrument console flops open. Out of a compartment behind the door pops a tiny robot dressed in a leather aviator cap and flying goggles. A flowing white scarf is draped loosely around his neck. The robot takes one quick look at the situation, grabs a parachute from inside the compartment, tightens the straps on the harness and bails out. The door to the compartment from which the robot emerged snaps shut as he disappears from view. Well, thanks, robot. God. Use toggle switch. Push toggle switch. Bright red and orange sparks shoot out all over the cockpit. Something smells like it might be burning inside the console. You curse yourself for sleeping through all the lectures on gadgets and whatchamacallits. The sunlight briefly reflects off something shiny on the floor. Pick up shiny thing. Pick up shiny object? What object? Do you see any object here? I don't see any object here. You must learn to be more aware of your surroundings. Look at floor. You glance furtively through the canopy and get a serious tummy ache as the engine screams and the ground flies up. Better do something soon before this situation gets critical. Uh-oh. Look at... Oh, what was it called? Can we scroll up? We can. Excellent. You can't go south. Oh, right. So the arrow keys were telling us. Okay. Use round dial. Push round dial. The dial cleverly resists your touch. Pull round dial. Now you can see cats and dogs and cows and horses looking up and running like, what? What did you say? Oh no. Use instrument console. So we're running out of options here. Score 0. Push instrument console. Nope. We're gonna die. Help. Sorry, you're on your own here. Oh, game. Look at instrument console. Yep, there we go. The F-16 with you piloting it, that's a laugh, smashes into a cornfield at Mach 3. The area is quickly roped off by the local farmer who makes a fortune selling tickets to see what he claims is a cavity excavated by a passing UFO from Uranus. You have died and will be sorely missed by kith and kin. You can restore to a save position or quit the game. So that's that. It's a fairly well narrated and entertaining text parser adventure game. So if you're a fan of these sort of things, yeah, take a look. Obviously, I'm completely putrid at them, but, you know, that's for the purposes of demonstration, you know. And I always enjoy reading them out as I calamitously destroy myself in the most terrifying and horrific ways possible. And if you enjoy me failing miserably at text parsers, it's becoming somewhat of a habit, so feel free to check out my other videos, and if you like, hit the old subscribe button. Cheerio.